Hello guys, don't know if you can hear me okay. Chat should be up and running today. Okay, shouldn't have any issues with that today. I think chat's working properly. If a couple of you can just mention in the chat, there probably won't be a lot in today because it's a Saturday. No one really wants to watch. Not many people want to watch YouTube on a Saturday, do they? So let me just get you to right. I've just typed into chat. Let's see if that comes up. Yep, it looks like I'm working. Looks like it's working. So just get a post out quickly before we get started. Yeah, chat's okay for me. If you're listening at the moment and there's an issue with chat, just let me know. Just drop me a message on Twitter, or just comment, just so I know it's working, because it'll come up. I know mine's coming up, but I can't see anyone else's messages. Someone put waiting a while ago, so I'm not too sure if chat is working properly. So I just need confirmation of that, basically. Let me just all good. Okay, looks like we're all up and running. I've just opened completely the wrong thing, so just give me a sec. I feel like no video, just audio. No video, just audio. So, can you guys see this currently? Just let me know if you can, because someone said there's no video and there's just audio. So can we just make sure that video is fine for you? Okay. I don't know why you haven't got video, Stephen. I'm not too sure why you haven't got video. If a couple more can comment in just to say that video is fine, because I think if it's just Stephen who's got the video issues, then it might not be. Might be just me. I'll reload. I just have a black screen. I can see. Okay, so Richard can see. Stephen, just let me know when you're good. I don't really want to carry on if you can't see me. Let's just wait for Stephen or anyone different. If anyone different can just comment. Anyone that isn't Huss or Richard can just kind of comment and just say that they can see all the visuals. Then that would be good. There's no point in me carrying on if like there's a couple of people that can't really see me, is there? So yeah, just let me just check on my, because I can just check on my phone. There does seem to be video, and just like that, we're all good. Okay, that's good. Yeah, so again, there's probably not going to be many of you guys in today. Obviously, those that are in, I really appreciate it. This is my third ever live stream, so we'll be covering Matchday 4. If you didn't know already, you probably do, but let's say it again. We'll be covering Matchday 4 today, which is unlimited transfers in the Club World Cup Fantasy. So if you are here, I'm going to try and say this a little bit more. I don't know if it's quite annoying, but other people are telling me I need to say it more, especially the guys in the chat. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please hit like on the video. Please also subscribe. Trying to aim for 300 subs. I'm actually fairly surprised by how quickly I've kind of picked up subs. So I'm really happy with how it's gone so far. You guys all seem happy as well. The ones that keep coming back. Obviously, the people that haven't come back aren't happy, are they? But you know. So yeah, thank you for those that have visited. Is there anyone in the chat that has come to all 3 live streams so far? That's what I'd love to know. I'd love to know if anyone came to all 3. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? So yeah, today I'm going to be building out my squad. The squad that you see at the moment isn't actually my squad. So what I've done is basically the idea was that I wanted to kind of build my team with you guys, so you can just see the processes that I take when it comes to building a team. I was going to say free hit, then it basically is a free hit, isn't it? When you rebuild a team, every week, it sometimes happens in Champions League Fantasy. When you use the chips in the early stage, you use the limitless and the wild card. It can, I use the same processes as I do for this, whereas you just I look at the fixtures, look at the stats, and then kind of build a team from there. I tend to get a similar team to my team selection. So if you haven't seen my team selection video, that is out. I don't know if you want, obviously you're watching this, you can't watch both at the same time. But if you get bored later or midway through or can't watch the live stream, then you could probably just watch that, just to kind of get straight to the point. So that's what I'll be doing today. We are all good. Hi chat. Hi everyone. Hi Hurst. Hi Stephen. Hi Richard. Hi Sama. So, let's get started, shall we? Let me just double check that we are definitely all good on the chat. And I had a couple of issues with chat before. It was easier than last week for sure. But I kind of still had issues with it. But got there in the end. Also got chat working pretty well in the end. It's a decent size, isn't it? Is everyone happy with the size of the chat? Hi Yuda, how are you? Everyone happy with the size of the text on the chat? Because I've been messing around with that. Like, we will move on to stuff in a bit. I just want to kind of make sure all the kind of the boring stuff's done. So like the chat, if the chat is decent and it's working and the text is right, because they're the issues that I had in the chat last week. It was quite frustrating, to be fair. It took a long time to get it fixed. It doesn't seem like it would, because it's just a chat box. But yeah, it takes a while. So yeah, just drop me a message in the chat if the text size is okay. So we probably need to get down to building a team, right? So again, there's a lot of processes that goes kind of behind building a team. I think obviously thankfully I've done a lot of that already. I've done the content, I've created like drafts and who the best defenders, who the best midfielders. So I already have that information packed into my head. But what I will do is kind of I'll look at the fixtures slowly, similar to what I did last week. I'll look at the fixtures and put in the essentials first. So I'll put in the players that I think are absolute musts first, and then we'll kind of pick around and kind of explain some rationale behind those picks. So at the moment, I think we need to let's start by. I've started quite early, haven't I? Actually, I was supposed to start at 2, so I do that a lot. To be fair, I need to kind of set up early to make sure everything's working. It's a good job I do, really, because half the time nothing works. So let's get rid of all of these guys. So every player that you see in my team currently, I will not own this week. So if you see any player that I'm getting rid of, I will not own them. It kind of rules out quite a few players, doesn't it? Foden's an alright option. I don't really like anyone else. Yildiz got lucky. Muller's hit and miss, isn't he? So, yeah, this is my team currently. It's nothing. So we need to start adding to that, don't we? So, also, if you could just let me know in the chat if the sound is okay. When I play, for some reason, when I'm playing the videos back, like the team selections and the live streams and stuff, there's a slight buzzing. I'm not too sure if you guys can hear it, but I can definitely hear it on playback. So if you could just let me know if you can hear that now. So if you turn it right up, you might be able to hear a buzzing every time I talk, like a microphone buzz. I've tried a lot of different things like noise compressions and stuff like that. I'm still trying stuff to kind of make it work. I don't know if I'm too loud or too quiet, so you guys will have to let me know. So the deadline is at, well, we're going to assume the deadline is at 4 o'clock. Should be at 4 o'clock. So I'm going to try and build my team by 3 o'clock, which should be fine, just in case the deadline does go. Set it up properly and then kind of tinker away. So, okay, currently, but no problem. Okay, you can get your own questions in as well. Hi, Gary. How are you, buddy? Yeah, you can all get your questions in. I will answer them. I'm just going to go through building my team. I'll keep looking at chart and checking to make sure that I'm getting all your questions and answering them and stuff. So yes, thought process. So basically, you can probably see the fixtures now. I spoke about this in my video. Palmeiras and Botafogo is the opening match of the week. It's 5 p.m. It's 5 p.m. today. So in terms of potential there, bookmakers have this as one of the lowest expected goals games. Basically, they think this is going to be quite a low scoring game, and I would tend to agree with them here because they've had tight games in the past. There's not really much between them. I do really like Palmeiras, but at the same time, Botafogo beat PSG. They've kind of impressed too, right? Palmeiras haven't exactly been fantastic. They drew to Porto when Inter Miami beat them. Porto were pouring against Al Ahly, so I'm not exactly too sure how much weight Palmeiras doing good against Porto and getting a draw holds. But I do think it's going to be a low scoring game. Now, I said on the pod, I've said on team selection, the issue with that, thoughts on 8 Nori or is he a Mins risk? Best City picks, yeah. We are going to discuss the City picks as we go through. I'm not keen on. I'm not fully convinced by any of the Man City defenders, to be honest, because a couple of them have played 2. Some have played 1. We don't really know who's going to actually play as much as we think we do, or as much as we think. Right, Pep's going to take this seriously now because it's the last stages. He might not. So, and it's a game they should win against Al Hilal. Arguably, Al Hilal are worse than Juventus, and City have just hammered them, Juventus 5-2. So, I do think we have to be careful with rotation. I will go through my thought process in the Man City when we get to Man City, which should be soon. But yeah, Palmeiras and Botafogo. The reason I don't like them, and I've said this, obviously, the fact that we can't call a winner. We think it's going to be super tight. We think there's going to be a lack of goals, which might be good for a defensive asset. But at the same time, I'm personally playing a chip this week. As you can see, I'm playing. You can't see, but I'm playing the qualifying booster this week, which means that players who qualify get an extra 2 points. Now, because I don't know who's going to qualify between Palmeiras and Botafogo, it's kind of 50-50 whether you get those 2 points or not, right? So, you could go for Piqueras, but I don't think he's going to be. I'm not convinced he goes through. So, I'm looking at qualification. To be honest, it might seem like it's not a lot, 2 points, but you have to consider that. Hiya, Jack. You okay, mate? Addison is the only safe pick. I don't even think Addison's safe, to be honest. I think I wouldn't be surprised if Ortega came in. So yeah, just going back to Palmeiras. My first thoughts of Palmeiras, I don't really want anyone because then I can't really call who's going to win the game. Now there is an option there though. There is one player you could go for. So you need a goalkeeper from each side of the draw. So I think. Hiya, Diego. How are you? Hiya, Mohammed. I think you need a goalkeeper on both sides of the draw because you've got more of a chance of getting a goalkeeper in. If you get two goalkeepers on one side of the draw, it's similar to UCL Fantasy. If you get 2 goalkeepers on the same side of the draw, they could play each other and then you lose one anyway, right? So I think you need a goalkeeper on one side and a goalkeeper on the other. And on the left side of the draw, hiya, Danny. How are you, buddy? How are you, mate? So, yeah, again, I do think you need a goalkeeper on both sides of the draw. So for that reason, on the left side of the draw is Palmeiras. Now, I'm just going to cover chat for 2 seconds because I do have an image. So you might be able to see oh no, that's horrible. Let me just turn off chat for a minute and turn off this image. I don't know if you guys can see that well, but look at the left side of the draw there. It's Palmeiras, right? So I'm not too keen on any of the goalkeepers down that left side. let's get rid of that. Let's get chat back, because we need chat back, don't we? Let's get rid of that image. So yeah, basically, I do like the Palmeiras goalkeeper, and the reason why I like the Palmeiras goalkeeper is, and this is something that I've explained on the pod and the sorry, you can't. I don't think you can see the filter when I'm picking players at the moment. You'll just be able to see the main team. This filter just does not work. I think I moaned about this on the last live stream, that the filter just doesn't work. If you press midfields and forwards, you have to click it like 6 or 7 times to make it work, which is why you haven't seen this guy. Yeah. So Weatherton, he's on the left side of the draw. He's only 4.9 million. Why do so many people choose John over Weatherton? I'm not sure. I mean, it's a tough game. The game could go either way, right? You know, I don't think there's much between them. But I like Weatherton. You know, he's on that side of the draw. He's 4.9 million. If your keeper basically, if he doesn't keep a clean sheet, then obviously you've got another decent keeper, right? That's why we've got 2 goalkeepers. So you're not really throwing your eggs in too many baskets, and also at this point in the last stages and the Champions League, I'm not too fussed about goalkeepers. If I lose a goalkeeper, I won't make a massive effort to get them back in, because they don't really have that much potential, do they? Right? It's usually solid 6-pointer or something. I mean, that's fine if you've got scouting bonus, but if you haven't, you've used, as soon as you use that chip this week, you don't get a qualification bonus. Sorry, so you have to kind of think about that as well. So I do like Weatherton. He's nice and cheap. You'll find that when you're building your drafts, and hi Divoire, how are you? Yeah, you'll notice that you need budget players at this point. It's so difficult. Like when they gave me 5 million extra, and I'm guessing that you guys had the same reaction. I imagine that when they gave you 5 million extra, you thought, oh great, I'm going to be able to build this super expensive team now. But that just isn't the case. I mean, like I've tried building a couple of drafts, and I have to make quite a few sacrifices. So yeah, Weatherton for now. Now, on the other side of the draw, I mean, this is going to really do your head in again. So there you go. On the other side of the draw, I'm not too sure how big that image is for you guys. I'm really not. It could be tiny. I'm not even sure if you guys can see. If you can see that image on the... It depends if you're on a phone. I'm on a phone. I literally can't see it. Let's try landscape. Let's not focus on that graphic for too long. But on the right side of the draw, and someone who I think could be good is PSG, not PSG, Donnarumma from PSG. So basically, when it comes to picking a PSG defender, it's really, really tough. Like obviously outside of Hakimi, Mendes has been rotated. He was a great asset in the Champions League last stages. He really was, and he had attacking threat, but he's not really shown that. So I don't really know if Mendes is a great option this week, because I personally want a double up in the PSG defence. Like I really want a double up. But if you kind of look at their defenders and stuff like that, I mean Mendes hasn't really got much potential. He's 6.2 million, so he's also 0.5 more than Donnarumma. I also want a goalkeeper on that right side of the draw. I don't mind Kobel on that right side, but I feel like I fancy Donnarumma a little bit more. I feel like he's going to advance to the final. I feel like PSG are going to get quite far. So stocking up on their assets is probably good. While we're on PSG, actually, I'm going to drop Hakimi in as well in defence, because we completed the goalkeepers for now, anyway. Oh, sorry, I need to get rid of that graphic, don't I? It's not great. There you go. I can see chat now. Let's have a look. Looks like chat's coming in a bit more quicker now. Esposito is tempting. You can zoom in. Yeah. This is a good week to use the promotion booster. does first match. Yeah, so I think just to kind of discuss the qualification boost that me and Dan had a long discussion on the pod last night actually. At first, and many who were watching my first, not my first stream, my second live stream, which was Matchday 3, a lot of you guys would have seen that initially I was quite happy with the qualification booster and what it did potential wise. But if you kind of dig a little deeper, or at least the way I'm thinking, the way I'm building a team this week is who could get qualification bonus, right? Which is all good. But when you kind of looking at teams who have lots of differentials in, the likes of Palmeiras, the likes of Botafogo, you can even look at Benfica and mention them as a differential, Inter potentially differential this week. It kind of the booster kind of prevents you from going differential. And I think that then therefore forms a really strong template. So, and if there's a strong template, obviously there's kind of less swings and there's less. I mean, that's good for some. For those that are trying to hold rank potentially and maybe creep a little bit higher, like me. I think I'm currently 300 and something in the world. So, I mean, I'm quite an aggressive player though. I don't really like to hold rank. I do like to keep climbing. So I will be quite aggressive in the last stages. I either want to, do really, really well, or there's kind of not much point. So 300 is good. I think it is good, but why not? I'm so used to playing aggressive because of Champions League fantasy. You have to play aggressive to do well in UCL fantasy. So, but just going back to the chip, again, it kind of prevents you from going different, doesn't it? So you kind of force. There's kind of a template being forced there. I have the 12th man. Who should I use it on? Well, it depends who you can't fit in your draft, Diego. I think there's a lot of different options this week. Like, I think when it came to me building a draft, I was between Haaland and Vinny. I think if I had 12th man this week, it would probably be between. It would just mean including Haaland and Vinny, which is obviously good because either of them can go off. The reason I can't fit both in is well, I'll explain as we kind of go on. So Hakimi so far. We'll get back to PSG. Chelsea. Now this is a game that's expected to have lots of goals in, Chelsea and Benfica. Now my Chelsea bias says that Chelsea are going to win. I think the bookies odds should have Chelsea as favourites as well. I don't even need to look at them. I have looked at them, but I wouldn't have needed to look at them anyway because, you compare the quality. There's an argument for which defence is better. I mean, the Benfica goalkeeper's probably better than Sanchez. He's terrible, but there's an argument between defence versus defence. But I think the Chelsea central midfield is better. I think obviously it's like Palmer v Maria. So just to get straight to the point, I think there's going to be lots of goals in this. I don't think there'll be any clean sheets. So I don't particularly want any defenders from this team. I do think both teams are going to score. So if both teams are going to score, and I think that there's going to be lots of goals, I need an attacker in this game. And if the bookies are suggesting that Chelsea are favourites, and I'm a Chelsea fan, and I also think that Chelsea are going to win, I probably want a Chelsea attacker. Show us your team. Well, this is what I can't really show you my team because I'm building it at the moment. So this is what I'm doing. If you've joined the stream late, I say late, it's only 2:10. If you join the stream late, I'm basically building my team out with the fixtures and talking through my processes. So basically, I want to invest in the Chelsea attack. Now, do I think Cole Palmer is worth it? Absolutely not. Do I still want him? Yes. But with the experience of already building a draft prior and not being able to fit him in, I know for a fact that the only Chelsea attacker that I want going into this week is stupid filters. Is Neto. He's 6.5 million. He's 15% owned, so there's no scouting bonus there. But I just think he's so cheap, isn't he? He's just so cheap. So for me, I do really, really like Neto this week. Really, really cheap. Yeah, I do think Enzo's a good option as well. I think he has been good, Enzo, the past few matches. But I think I'm kind of I do you know, I could easily pick Enzo still, but I think my initial thoughts as a Chelsea fan is that Neto seems to be our kind of, you know, I think if there's going to be a goal, he's probably going to score it. So I've got Neto in for now. So you should be able to see that screen okay there. So going back to the fixtures, yeah, PSG is next. I personally think that PSG are going to advance quite far. Now, Hakimi's already in. I think the double defence is really good this week. PSG have kept 2 clean sheets out of 3 so far. They've also kept clean sheets in the Champions League. I just feel like they can keep anyone out in any given game. Obviously, they kept clean sheets against Liverpool as well, didn't they? So, clean sheet against Liverpool, clean sheet against Arsenal, was it? So they've been very good. So basically, the defence is locked. Now, attack is a different story, obviously. I think let's just get Kvaratskhelia in first. Kvaratskhelia, I think, is... Let's just get rid of goalkeepers on the filter. Just so weird how long it takes. So, goalkeepers, look at that. Di Maria is the highest scoring player on 30 points. Coman with 25. I think these are quite deceiving, aren't they, these total points? So, Kvaratskhelia, he's a lock. Now, I really like that. If you're listening to the screen, by the way, I'm not audible enough. Is my sound not good? So just double check my sound. There's a couple of complaints in the chat that the sound isn't that good. I'm not too sure why, because the sound on my end is pretty good. Let me just get rid of that. Geddy, if you can hear me or anyone else in the chat, can you just double check that my sound is okay? Because someone has mentioned that my sound is not good. So please pop it in the chat right now. Your sound is great. Sound is okay. Yeah, just turn it up. Just turn it up if you can't really hear it. Maybe, I don't know, my sound seems okay. Yeah, so Kvaratskhelia, he does seem like an essential. I don't think I would go without him. Similar to Hakimi, he's non-negotiable. Out of the team that you can see so far, there's 3. There's 2 non-negotiable players. And I think that's Kvaratskhelia and Hakimi. So they definitely won't leave my draft. Kvaratskhelia obviously got, I think it's a goal and 2 assists. Hakimi's got 2 clean sheets and a goal. So basically average at 3, a return a game. So I do think both are great options. Now, I need to add to that. I do really want a PSG attacker. I need someone cheap. So, provisionally, I do really like Vitinha. Now, let's type him in. Might be quicker. I do really like Vitinha. Now, he's only 6.1 million. He's 22% owned, which isn't great, but he's 20. He is very likely to get qualification bonus this week of 2 points. So, I think he's on penalties as well, which is obviously really good. Let's just have a look at Vitinha's recent output. Let's have a look at Vitinha's recent output. Yeah, so he scored against Atletico. He got an assist in the final. He scored in the league against Nantes. He's not relentlessly attacking. Forward sound is good, a bit low but clean audio. Maybe try the mic a little bit higher. How is this? Is this a little bit better? I'm quite close to the mic there, aren't I? I don't mind Fabian Ruiz either. I think he's not a bad option. Ruiz is still below 5%. Yeah. He's not a bad option, but I think Vitinha with pans as well. He does pop it with the odd return as well, doesn't he? So he's not shoo-in Vitinha by any means, but I think he's a decent, similar to Donnarumma. There's kind of not many alternative attackers in the PSG in the PSG front line that I do like. Goncalo Ramos is not great. Barcola is hit and miss. His minutes are kind of a little bit concerning sometimes. Dembele, I'm not even too sure he'll start. So, I really like Vitinha and I really like Donnarumma just because I don't see great options elsewhere in the PSG team. So this is what we've got so far. We've got half a defence and goalkeepers, some midfielders. We've got quite a few midfielders already, haven't we, right? So let's just go down the fixtures. Now, Bayern and Flamengo, I really like this fixture because I do think that Bayern are favourites going into this. Flamengo have conceded quite a lot of big chances throughout the competition so far. Bayern are Bayern as well, aren't they? So I do think that we could see 2, 3, maybe even 4 goals against Flamengo. Flamengo are a good side, no disrespect at all. I'm quite aware that 4 Brazilian teams have progressed into the last stages, which is very good. But when you compare them to the other non-European teams, it's not great, is it? You know, the competition. You know, the competition isn't great outside the European teams and the Brazilian teams. You know, it's not been brilliant. So I'm kind of not surprised that the Brazilian teams have made it because they are good, fairly good. But I still think that Bayern are. What do you think about double Dortmund defence? I think it's an option, 100%. I think if you add in Kobel with either Svensson or Anton, I also like Svensson and Anton. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think it's good. Obviously, it's not ideal when you get to Real Madrid after that because Dortmund probably likely to win, but then they've got Real Madrid, so you're going to have to make a defensive transfer then. So just keep that in mind. So back to the Bayern. I think we all know who I'll probably own from Bayern, right? It's going to be Kane. So I'm trying to type, hoping that is easier to do. Turns out it's not. So, yeah, so Kane is a shoo-in for me, and I also think Elise is. Is the double Bayern up is the double up of the Bayern attack essential? No, I think there's an argument to go against it, but do you really want to go against Elise's 52% ownership and Kane's 34% ownership? Their ownership is likely to go up, by the way, as well, because obviously the pool of players that people select get limited. So it's not. They are great assets. They're playing for a great team, and they have a good attacking fixture based on Flamengo's, conceding big chances. So I do like the Bayern attack, the attacking double up. I don't really like many options outside of Bayern, outside of the Elise and Kane in terms of like Coman or Gnabry, or I'm not sure how many minutes those guys will play. There was 2 Espositos at Inter. One of them isn't. Yeah, I've just realised that you guys can't fit your whole comments in, because I think the text is too big potentially. So let me just kind of drop that down a little bit. Let's see if that's better. Let's see if that's better. So there's no comments coming in at all now, which isn't ideal. Can someone just drop a comment in? I've just had to edit the chat. So if anyone can just comment in, because I've had to edit the chat and now it's gone. So I don't quite know what's happened there, to be honest. Why has the chat gone? Why is the chat not there? Oh, it's coming through now. I don't know. The comments look a bit small now, don't they? Let's go with 18. I have so many issues with chat. Let's just go back to the main screen and see if the chat starts coming through. I did see your comments in the on Streamline that I was using. So basically, I'm not too comfortable with Coman, and yeah, they're coming through now. Yeah, I prefer, about 18 text size, 18, 20 seems a little bit too high. I do like Delap. I think he'll play, but then it's a case of when Jackson is back, will he start playing? So you'll probably have a little bit of rotation there. Igor Jesus is a bit dodgy as well because I'm not even sure he makes it past the next round, which is not really what you want. So that is a hard call. So Bayern, I want to get a Bayern defender in there provisionally. Now, you never know with the defence, but you kind of have to. You need a cheap option, and playing for a big side who have got a fairly okay fixture. No fixture is great at this point of the tournament, really, is it? I know there's an argument for like Monterrey and stuff like that, but Bayern probably have just as much of a chance of keeping a clean sheet as, I don't know, like Man City or someone. It could happen. Al Hilal, obviously, good side, and then obviously you have to battle rotation with Man City, whereas with Bayern you don't really have to look at that, particularly with Stanisic. I mean, if you have a look at we have a look at Stanisic, we don't really need to look at him because I don't think you'll be able to see him, but I just think what is he? Is he 4.9? Yeah, he's 4.9 million. He's 4.9 million. He's also 3.9% owned, so he is eligible for scouting bonus, and then you'll also get a qualification bonus if he progresses. So that's an additional 4 points. So although lacking attacking threat, he is kind of nailed in the Bayern defence. It does make sense, doesn't it? If you're trying to fit in cheaper options, I do like him. So next fixture is Inter. Now this is a game that I can't call. Inter have been fairly good. Fluminense have been fairly good. I don't know what to do about this fixture because taking into account qualification bonus, I'm not too sure if any of them can actually win that game. Like, it's going to be tough. I would say Inter are favourites, but that's tough. Their attackers aren't great, are they? You never quite know how many minutes Lautaro is going to play, or new guy Esposito. I just not massively convinced, and I'm also not convinced about backing a Fluminense attacker either. The likes of Hairy Arse and the other guys. They're nice and cheap, obviously, but I don't really see much potential against the Inter defence. There is an argument for backing the triple PSG defence. It's okay. Like, I don't hate triple PSG defence, but I think there's some options elsewhere you'd probably want to pick. Maybe split the risk. While I'm answering questions, you can just look at what I've got so far. For those that don't want to look at fixtures, yeah, Stanisic or Aït-Nouri. I mean, that's a close one, isn't it? Aït-Nouri might not even play, where I think Stanisic will play. Aït-Nouri has got attacking threat. Stanisic has got Aït-Nouri. Is he? What's his ownership? So he's not got scouting bonus either, Aït-Nouri, which isn't great, is it? He'll have the qualification boost against Al Hilal, likely, so they should win that. But I do like Tels. I think he's a good option, Tels. The only issue with Tels is that I'm pretty sure he's not got scouting bonus anymore. It's not a big deal if he hasn't got scouting bonus. He's got a fixture that he can definitely keep a clean sheet in. It's obviously the extra 2 points is it feels quite big, at this point in the competition, and it's the same with UCL as well. When you get to the last stages of the competition, you basically need to. There's not much room for. There's not many swings for points and stuff like that. So, if Botafogo lose, which is a 50-50 chance, that could happen, then not only do you have to make a transfer, but you won't get qualification bonus. So, it kind of costs you 3 points. 3 points for transfer, say, hit, maybe 2 points. Yeah, 5 points. I don't know. This is why I don't really want to pick Piqueras either for Palmeiras, because I can't really call the game. So, Stanisic, I've put Stanisic in provisionally as well, because I know they play PSG after that, but 4.9 million. He's not exactly expensive, is he? Into defence. In that game here, this is probably, I would probably only back a defender and probably an inter-defender, probably Dumfries actually. My only problem with Dumfries is that he's so explosive, isn't he? He could probably pick up a 20-pointer. You would not be surprised if he got a clean sheet and a goal against Fluminense. Let's be honest. For those that have, are familiar with Dumfries' game, catastrophic, isn't it? When he hauls, when he goes on one of his mad 25+ pointers, it's game over, isn't it? For those who don't know him, obviously he did really well against Barcelona. Was it 3 goals and 2 assists? Let's pray to God that doesn't happen again for non-owners, because that would be... Hi, Hannes, how are you? Yeah, let's pray that Dumfries doesn't pick up a 25-pointer this week. I mean, I could own him. There is a genuine chance that I could own. There's a genuine chance that I could own Dumfries this week. The only issue with Dumfries is his price. That's what's kind of put me off is the price. I'm not really bothered about scouting bonus because he can score and assist, but yeah, it's just the price tag. 6 million. I'm trying to cut costs, not add costs to my original squad. So I'll leave Inter out provisionally. Now Man City is a different story, isn't it? Because they're going to win this week. I think they're going to win. I think they've got a good chance of keeping a clean sheet. Let's just take a look at if you are in the stream, guys, just please remember to subscribe. I've been told off by chat before by not saying please subscribe. So please subscribe to my channel. Obviously, really appreciate all of you guys who have already subscribed. I think, how many subscribers have I got? Can someone tell me? Can someone tell me how many subs I've got so far? It should be handy, but nothing's loading for me. It's like I basically live in a cave. Nothing ever works for me, pretty much. I'm surprised the internet works to hold up a stream. So I don't know how many subs I've got, but yeah, please subscribe. It will be. I think someone mentioned earlier on in the stream that I was close to stream. That I was close to or getting towards 300 subs. So yeah, if we can get towards 300 subs, that would be brilliant. If we don't, not a big deal. But for those that aren't subbed yet and are listening to this live stream for maybe the second or first time, then please sub. 285. Surely we don't get 15 during the stream. I don't think we will. I don't think we'll get 15. We'll just see. We'll see. So, yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, please like and subscribe. So, where was I? I don't know. I've lost track of where I was. So if we go back down to the fixture, it was Man City, wasn't it? Okay. So the Man City defenders are obviously priority this week, aren't they? We probably need a defender. They're probably going to progress, and we probably need one with either attacking threat or scouting bonus. So Ryan Aït-Nouri, did he play? No, he didn't play all the. I don't think any of the Manchester City defenders played all 3 matches, which is slightly concerning. Would we be surprised to see Pep rotate against Al Hilal? Maybe not, because it's Al Hilal. And don't get me wrong, Al Hilal are a very good side, but they've lost. I don't think they've got Mitrovic. I think they've lost Salem Al-Dasawi, which is a huge loss offensively. It can't be understated how big of a loss Al-Dasawi will be for Al Hilal. Huge. So no Mitrovic, no Salem Al-Dasawi. That's huge. So I do kind of think you have to go for a City defender. Now, I've got 2 in my head at the moment. I've got Ryan Aït-Nouri, and I've also got Akanji. Now, I'm more on the safer side of owning Akanji. Whether that's safe or not, we don't really know, right? We just don't know. But let's just, because I think Akanji has scouting bonus as well, doesn't he? You can't see this, but he's got 2.4%. So if we put him in provisionally, I don't see him well, I say I don't see him going over 5%, but it would take a lot. It would take a lot. Ryan Aitnouri's already over that, so you're pretty much banking on an attack and return for Aldasari. Not Aldasari. Ryan Aitnouri. I'm going to put in Akanji provisioning now. I also do like the Man City attack. The problem is picking out one of their 50 attackers that could start. It's crazy, isn't it? I think I kept coming down to the fact that Haaland was probably the best option. I don't really trust any of the midfielders. I do think that Foden is a good option, though. I think he's got potential this week. The only issue with Foden is I think Haaland is more likely to get attacking returns, isn't he? I think he's more likely to be worth the money. I think I'd rather captain Haaland than Foden, and you might need a decent captain. And I think Haaland is that. Captaincy's been quite hard to get right, really, hasn't it? If you think about it, it's been quite hard to get. So I just think making sure that you've got, as many kind of captaincy options as you possibly can is a good idea. So Haaland, he's got 20 points already, which is good. He got 1 in the first round, 12 and then 7. So he only played half a game in the last round as well, didn't he? Is chat dead? His chat might have died. Hopefully it's not died. Hopefully I don't have to keep fixing it. I feel like a chat maintenance man at the moment. So just let me know in the chat if it's still working. So in terms of Man City, just to kind of reiterate, I'm not completely convinced between Akanji or Ryan Aitnouri, although I know it's going to be one of those two. Foden could also creep into my draft, but at the moment I've gone for Haaland. I could go for Foden over Haaland, but I just, again, captaincy is a bit, I think it's quite safe to go for Haaland over Foden. So most of my team is built now. Oh, you dad. People can still see me, right? And hear me. Is chat dad? No, chat's not dad because someone's asking questions. I'm definitely... Well, I hope I'm not dad. Could be dreaming. I just wanted to make sure chat was working because I've had some issues with it today. It's been a bit of an issue point for some time now. But anyway, so moving away from Man City, I think it does seem a little bit criminal, doesn't it, to only have 2 Man City options? Just doesn't seem right. But rotation, you have to also consider cost as well because Foden's not cheap. I just think it's Haaland and 1 defender and that's it. Chat is fine. Yeah, clear for me. Kane, Vitinha or Guirassy and Doué. That's really tough. But I would probably go for Kane and Vitinha there. Yeah. Yeah, I would go for Kane and Vitinha there. Both on pans. Vitinha's quite cheap as well. Doué's just a bit of a nightmare, isn't he? Just doesn't do much. He's more advanced than Vitinha and sometimes does less, which is crazy. So we just need to build out the rest of my team now. Let's go to Dortmund first because obviously Dortmund, I think, have one of the best fixtures on paper this week in Monterrey. Now, it's just a question of how heavy you go on on Dortmund, isn't it? Do you want to go all out? Because if you do go all out, you kind of have to remember with Dortmund that if they win this, then there's a big chance that they play Dortmund, and then you are not going to want 4 players against Real Madrid. You are not going to want 4 Dortmund players playing against Real Madrid. Like, you're just not. I mean, even Guirassy, maybe I think the aggressive move, if you get that far, is to move Guirassy out and get another striker in. But like, I wouldn't even want 1 or 2 assets against Real Madrid. Never mind 4. So I think yes, attack the round ahead. which is Monterrey. It's a good fixture. But also, just think a little bit ahead. You don't want to be completely in trouble, do you, in Matchday 5? You don't want to be like, no, I've got 4 Dortmund players. You don't really want to be taking hits either, because although it's 3 points for a hit, you don't want to lose ground like before the match has even started in the latter stage, because the latter stage it's quite hard to gain rank. So that is my rationale behind not overdoing the Dortmund picks. Now, with that in mind, I think 3 max. I think 3 max. You don't want 4 against Real Madrid. So in terms of how essential a player is, I would still put Guirassy up there. How has Job turned into a left wing from 2 games at Dortmund, like 5 shots? Yeah, we'll get to Joe. Should we cover Job now? No, let's do the obvious ones first. I think Guirassy's still a lock. I honestly think that Guirassy's still essential. That might seem absolutely bonkers considering how frustrating he has been, but I don't think there's many outside of those who've played Auckland. I don't think anyone beats him for big chances. Any striker, I think he's had more big chances than anyone. Now, obviously, you have to score those big chances, but you also want to be constantly in there. You want your strikers to be constantly in those positions. Now, if you don't own Guirassy when he gets a lot of big chances on the day that he scores them, and I know you guys are probably sick of hearing me mention Barcelona where he scored a hat-trick, but that's what you get with Guirassy. You get explosiveness. Let me just bring up have a look at Guirassy's overall form. So I think he got pretty much 30 plus attacking returns last season across all competitions, which is obviously good. I mean, his form is ridiculous. So if you look at his form prior to the Club World Cup, we'll just go back to the Champions League. He scored a hat-trick against Barcelona. The game after that he scored. The game after that he got a goal and assist. The game after that he got 2 goals. The game after that he got a goal. The game after that he got a goal. So not only is it consistent returns, but he's explosive. He's got the potential to manage. So in that period of 6 games, he picked up 2 attacking returns in half of them. So you can't really go without Guirassy, because he's probably one of the most explosive strikers in the game, isn't he? Which is why Guirassy is essential this week. I also think you probably want a Dortmund defender. So if you want a Dortmund defender, I do think that the 2 best options are, let's get both of them in for now, so you guys can actually see, because I know I'm quite aware that you guys can't actually see the filter part. So let's get both of these defenders in. So that would be my defence complete there if I added them both. There's benefits to both of these. Obviously, Svensson is super attacking. He scored in the last match. Anton is, he's got 4.3%. Ooh. Quite close, that, isn't it? He could well go over 5%, but for now he's got scouting bonus. And there's also 0.7 million in between them. Now, if you go double defence, that means you can't really go for a double attack. And it just, again, going back to what I said earlier about Real Madrid, you don't want 4 players going against Real Madrid. Your whole transfer allocation will be used on Dortmund players likely, which is not good considering, all the other situations that could happen elsewhere. So, and also you have to take in the cost, right? You also have to take into consideration the cost of good midfielders. Now, you can already see that I've got the likes of Neto, I've got the likes of Vitinha. So if I add, I've got 5.3 million there, which is not good. It basically means that I can't get a 5th decent midfielder. Unless I lose money somewhere. Now, I can't exactly see where I could potentially lose quite a lot of money there. And I've been through this quite a few times. So, and this leads me to Bellingham. So I'm quite forward line 5 points total this match day? Hopefully not. I think Garassi will haul this week. I think he'll score a couple just on his own. I think Kane will score. I think they'll all score. I think Garassi, Haaland and Kane have a good chance of all scoring. And you probably want them all for captaincy, don't you? I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I could have worked that out instead of counting. But there's 8 opportunities to captain a player there. I don't particularly want to invest in the Palmeiras and Botafogo, which gives me 7. It could be 6 without Inter as well. So I think you kind of have to go with the heavy hitters. You want the best man. You want these guys. You want these players because they can still haul. These are still fixtures that premiums can haul in. You get to a stage in the latter stages where, potential is quite limited. But I don't think we're massively at that point yet. I think we've still got some great fixtures to target. So again, just going back to my original point about having 5.3 million in the bank and not enough money for a decent midfielder, I do think that Bellingham at 5.7 is very, very good. So he's obviously scored and assisted in his last 2 matches. We don't quite know what's going on with Adeyemi, Garassi. They might start, who knows at this point. But I do think Bellingham will. I think he's become kind of really important, hasn't he? He's also very, very cheap. Now, that just means that I now have 4 Dortmund players, and I don't want 4, which means I need to make a choice between Svensson and Anton, right? Jan Couto is 4 mil. He misses a lot of big chances, to be fair, Garassi. It's a regular thing for him, to be fair. Which means I have to make a decision in defence. Now, if you look at the other fixtures, I do think that Real Madrid are worth investing in there. I do think they're worth investing in. I think they could keep a clean sheet against Juventus. You just don't know, right? So let's just have a look at the Juventus defenders. You can't really see him. Well, you can't. Trent is unaffordable at this point, isn't he? He's unaffordable completely. So the next best option, I would say, with Alaba injured, is Fran Garcia. He's the highest scoring defender so far. I know you guys can't really see this, but 4 points against Al Hilal. He's returned in every single one of his matches so far. So he's banging form. I just think that Garcia could be a great option. I really like Svensson. I'm going to take Anton out and put Garcia in. So I'm left with 0.7. So I either have to lose 0.7 million or get rid of Svensson and add Anton. Look at that. 0 million budget left. So that is exactly the team that I created in my team selection. So I'm going to save that for now. Let's just get them in date order. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. This is just something I do just in case the deadline does go early. The second, Weverton plays before Donovan, which is good. Neto plays. Let's get him out. Let's get all the 2nd of July's on the bench. All the Dortmund guys. Confirm. Let's get captaincy sorted as well while we're here. So yeah, no captain in the Palmeiras game. I don't know how much of a loss that's going to be. So my first captaincy, provisionally this isn't my team, by the way. This is nowhere near locked. Let me just have a look. This is nowhere near locked, by the way. Yeah, again, please, if you're in the stream at the moment and in this, I keep saying scream instead of stream. If you're in the stream and you still haven't subbed, please like and subscribe this video. Subscribe to my channel, not subscribe to the video. Can you tell I'm a bit of a rookie? Yeah, so that is my team so far. Obviously, there's still a lot to kind of deliberate here, right? You know, you look at... I go back to Real Madrid and I'm thinking, do I want Real Madrid attackers in there? Because, I mean, you look at what Man City did to Juventus in the previous round. What was it, 5-2? Juventus completely collapsed, didn't they? I wonder how much XG Juventus conceded. Were some of the Man City goals quite lucky, or did they literally concede a lot of chances? Well, I mean, Man City, Juventus conceded 5 big chances, and City scored 5 goals, but they also had 24 shots, Man City. So Juventus did concede 24 shots. Let me just get up the shot map of them, because I think if they're conceding a lot of shots in the box, then I think not having Vinny could be quite dangerous, couldn't it? So Man City had... That's quite a lot of shots in the box. One of the goals was from outside of the box. 2 of the shots from outside the box would say there's quite a lot of shots in the box there. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, there's 24 shots and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 were outside the box. So 15 shots in the box for Man City against Juventus. That is a lot, isn't it? I mean, Juventus conceded 2 big chances to Wydad AC. Al Ain, I imagine they conceded no big chances because Al Ain are absolutely awful. Al Ain were basically like Auckland, weren't they? So, not as bad, but maybe they were as bad. So yeah, not being able to fit in a Real Madrid attacker here is quite annoying. I think if I had 12, could Haaland go? Could Haaland go for Vinny? And then could we get Foden in? I don't see how I would do this. How would I do this? I think Vinny's going to do well this week. And the thing is with Vinny as well, is that you know he's going to start. With Haaland, you don't know he's going to start. With Vinny, he's gonna start. He's probably gonna take what's happening with Mbappe, because if Mbappe's not likely to start this next game, then Vinny will be on pans. Kylian Mbappe will arrive for the game. He will arrive. What does that mean? He's gonna turn up and watch the game. I need some Mbappe news, because if Alonso wants to pair Vinny and Mbappe in attack for the upcoming games, the club is now hoping Mbappe will be able to press, putting pressure on Mbappe. I think Mbappe, there's a chance that he could start this. And if he can start this game, then it's a case of who do you pick between Vinny and Mbappe, or is that just an extra headache? Because Vinny was so good, wasn't he? He was so good. In the last round, a goal and an assist. I actually had him for that, which was super happy about. So it's just a tough one. I really don't know what to do about Haaland. What is the chat saying about Haaland? Is he worth the money? Is he not worth the money? Get your comments in. Let me know if you think he's worth the money. I'm just going to have a look. Something just quickly. yeah, I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do in attack. How's Joe? Mbappe will be in the squad. It feels better. Basically, yeah. Thoughts on Mbappe, 12th man. Yeah, I would probably go for 12th man Mbappe for sure. I think that's something that I would do. I definitely would do that, to be fair. I think there's a few people that you could go 12 man for, to be honest, couldn't there? Isn't there? So, who am I happy with? That's the question. I'm happy with Guirassy. I'm fully happy with Guirassy. I'm fully happy with Kane. I do think Elise is locked. I think Kvaratskhelia is locked. The only players that there's quite a lot of players that aren't locked. I don't think there's loads and loads of standout options this week. Really, there's just some nice options here and there, isn't there? Bellingham's one of them. Bellingham's 8.1%, so he hasn't got scouting bonus anymore. How has Bellingham done in the last 2 matches in terms of... Because I know that Bellingham has scored and assisted, but I know he's been quite lively as well. He started the last 2 matches, Bellingham. He started the last 2 matches. And he's been quite good, hasn't he? Yeah, he was really good. He was really good against Sundowns, I thought. What did he do against the Sundowns? He played 84 minutes against Sundowns. He scored, only had 1 shot on target and didn't do anything in terms of creativity. He's just a bit like his brother, isn't he? His brother's a bit of a clutch player. Bellingham only played 58 minutes in the last match. He got an assist. He had 1 shot on target, 2 shots off. He had 3 shots blocked. He won 1 shot, 1 big chance missed, so he could have scored as well. He also created free kick. Jesus, this is a lot of... He did a lot. Bellingham did a lot against Ulsan. He did a lot against Ulsan, Joe Bellingham. So just to confirm, he only got an assist, but he got 1 shot on target, 2 shots off, 3 shots blocked, 1 big chance missed, so he could have scored. 3 key passes, 3 big chances created. That's so good, isn't it? And then Adeyemi, he got 6 key passes and 1 shot, so he wasn't. Adeyemi played 58 minutes, and he wasn't exactly. He's on the wing, and he wasn't as direct as Bellingham in terms of. In terms of creating the XG and XA, expected goals, expected assists, because Bellingham got the assist, so he did a lot more than Adeyemi. Adeyemi's obviously out of form. Let's look at Brandt, because I know Brandt was quite busy, wasn't he? Brandt was amazing against Sundowns. He got 2 assists, and he got 2 assists. Was he amazing? He wasn't. He got 2 assists, but he had no shots at all. He did not even a shot on target, off target, or blocked. He only created 1 key pass, and he also created 1 big chance. So, if you're looking at the stats between the Dortmund midfielders, then Bellingham is the best. He's the best option. He's been the most lively option. And when you're looking at the price of them all, let's have a look how much Brandt is. Let's have a look how much Brandt is. He's 6.5 million, so he's 6.5 million. So he is 0.8 more than Bellingham. I'm not really interested in Adeyemi, but I will look for. He's 8 million. Yeah, so you rule Adeyemi out straight away for 8 million, because that's just ridiculous. He should be like 6 or something. It's good that he's a midfielder on this game, but so yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? It's very similar to the. But it's not very similar to the Svensson and Anton situation, because there's different kind of things going on there. Both are kind of good options, whereas Brandt returned, but he doesn't have the data that Job does. So I've just figured out that if Real Madrid and Dortmund go through, and I've probably figured this out quite late, that the Bellinghams are going to play against each other, which would be nuts, wouldn't it? Good shot. Maybe Kane out if anything. No, I think Kane is definitely a good option. I'm also talking between Haaland and Vinny. I'm still inside of Haaland. Could Tar play over Stanisic? I mean, there's always a possibility with the Bayern defenders, right? Because if you look at their defence, they have been rotating quite a bit, haven't they? You know, the centre backs. In terms of their centre backs, I think Stanisic has Stanisic played all of the Bayern matches so far? Pretty sure he has. Yeah, Stanisic has played all of the Bayern matches so far. I mean, there is definitely a chance that Tar could come in, but I mean, Upamecano's just come back from injury. He was subbed on the 58th minute. I think eventually, Bayern's centre-back pairing will be Upamecano and Tar. I think it will be. I don't know if Stanisic will have much. But Stanisic can also play left-back, can't he? So I think that's the thing with Stanisic. That's why I really like him, because Guerreiro's just not been that good at left-back. So there's a genuine chance that even if Tar comes in for Stanisic could well replace Upamecano, but he could also replace Guerreiro, right? So sorry, I've just gone quiet. I'm just checking something. I've just been tagged. Yeah. So if you get any Lewis option A, Lewis option A is Anton, Enzo, Mbappe, Guirassy 12, or B Svensson, Neto, Guirassy, and Mbappe. So it's basically Anton versus Svensson, Enzo versus Neto. I'm kind of on the fence of Svensson, Neto, Guirassy, and Mbappe there. 12 man. Sorry, 1 second. Yes, so squad so far. Yeah, if any of you guys get any news, then drop me a tag on Axe. Also, please subscribe if you are in the stream already, and you are yet to subscribe. I am really thankful for those who have joined me so far. It's been quite a lot of you that have been on and off, in and out of the stream. So I really do appreciate it. I also am aware that there's quite a few other live streams going on for Club World Cup Fantasy at the moment. So thank you for joining me. So I'm still debating between quite a few players here. Okay, what I should do is I should head over to this Fantasy Football Scout. Let me just check. Is my sound working this time? Is my sound working? So this is Fantasy Football Community. Just a quick hashtag ad here. This is the site. This is one of the sites you want to go to. I'm editor over at Fantasy Football Community. I think it is currently, I think, one of the best sites out there for fantasy football stuff. I would say that, but I just think that the wide range of stuff that it offers in terms of different games. It's not just FPL. It's obviously we're quite heavy on Club World Cup Fantasy at the moment. We've got team reveals. We've got all 16 predicted lineups. We've got best captains, budget options, differentials. Again, you can also head over to FPL if you play FPL. There's team reveals, weekly team reveals for that as well. Also, MLS Fantasy, UCL Fantasy. Obviously, a lot of the guys in the chat are probably UCL players. I imagine that a lot of you guys are kind of heavy on different games. You know, like not just FPL. Some of you play other games as well, which is obvious. Obviously, if you're playing Club World Cup, but yeah. Definitely head over to the definitely head over to the premium membership and sign up. I think it's just £1 a month. You kind of get the as well as the Club World Cup predicted lineups and the fixture ticker, you'll get team reveals and top picks and a player tracker in the Champions League fantasy campaign every single week. You'll also get FPL team reveals every single week. Just lots of really, really good content. There's also a lot of free content as well. You know, we also provide content for Bundesliga, Serie A fantasy. Again, I've already mentioned MLS fantasy, which is an active game at the moment, which is why you see these tabs up here. We are going to be covering women's Euro fantasy too. So as you can see, we've already made a start. The favourites are already there. We also have a fixture ticker close to being released as well, which should help you build your team. We also have a first draft coming in a couple of days and final team reveals on the day before deadline day. So again, just £1 a month. I do think it's worth it. It's super interactive. It's an active site. I definitely think it's worth going over there. So, but back to the normal stuff. My chat has disappeared. Why has chat disappeared? Why does chat just keep disappearing all the time? There it is. Ruiz is still below 5%. What do you think about double Dortmund defence? Yeah, I have mentioned. Oh no, it's catching up, chat. They were old chats. I think it's catching up. It's definitely glitched. It's catching up. Hi Lewis, will Colwill start 100%? Well, I think he'll start. I don't really want to give you a 100% percentage to say that he'll start, but I think he will start. I'm pretty sure that he was only rested against Esperance. I think there was a lot of rotation in Matchday 3, wasn't there? There's a lot of rotation. Obviously, Buddy Schill came in, Tosin came back in after replacing Chalobah. I think Colwill is still our most reliable centre back. There's an argument for Tosin as well, but I think he's still reliable in terms of minutes. I do think he's going to start. Yeah, so I think at 3.5%, he's not a bad option, is he? But I do think there'll be quite a lot of goals in the Benfica Chelsea game. I'm kind of on the fence with the whole Palmeiras and Botafogo situation. I do have the goalkeeper currently. I obviously like Tels and Piqueras. Tels and Piqueras are good options, but I don't know if they're going to be out next week. Like if Weatherton leaves the competition, if Botafogo win, I'm not going to replace a goalkeeper unless I absolutely have to. So, I don't know. There's a couple of... I need to kind of write down a couple of the situations that I'm on the fence with at the moment. And that would be Piqueras or Tels, because I do think they're both good options. Piqueras or Tels, Anton or Svensson is like a major debate going on in my head at the moment. I think Akanji and Ryan Aït-Nouri is another one. Ryan Aït-Nouri. That's defence. I'm kind of okay with Stanisic. Like I don't really. He's not got like an alternative in the OT in the Bayern team that I could potentially go for. Hakimi's locked. Neto or Enzo, I'm going to throw in as well. What is the price difference between Neto and Enzo? What is the price difference between them? Because I think if there's a major gap between them, then there is an argument. It's only 0.3 million. It's not a great deal between them, really, is it? So my midfielders Job, Elisa Kvara, Dembele and Vitinha. Thoughts? I don't think Dembele is going to play much, Diego, so I definitely wouldn't have Dembele. Let me have a look at Dembele, actually. I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's going to start. Surely he doesn't. I don't think he played any of the... I don't think he played any of the last match, did he? I don't think Dembele is going to start. I will have a look at it though properly now. So he's not played a single Club World Cup Club World Cup match so far. Dembele's not played any game time at all. So I think Luis Enrique starting Dembele would be silly, wouldn't it? It kind of feels like starting a key, because you don't really want him to get injured, because the likelihood is that PSG are going to progress to the next round. So I know I'm not a manager, but what I would do is probably give him half an hour, try and slowly get him back in, because then I think PSG are likely to face. Is it Dortmund? I've been saying that PSG are likely to face Dortmund this whole time, but I could be completely... Oh no, it's Real Madrid facing Dortmund. So they could potentially face Bayern, which I think they'll need. I think if there's a team that can beat PSG, it's Bayern. So it kind of poses the question, do you go for PSG, doesn't it? Saying that, yes, because they've got a great fixture, and with Donnarumma, you can kind of swap him out if he doesn't do well. Or if he exits the competition, you kind of don't really need a goalkeeper unless you've got the transfers to do it. So, no, I think Dembele's a risk. Stanisic and Colwell or Anton and Akanji, same value. I just think that Anton and Akanji are more likely to keep a clean sheet this week than Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea are going to keep a clean sheet. That's... Bayern could go either way. I've got Stanisic, but I do think it can go either way. I still have 12th man. Is it better to use it now or later? I would use it either now or in the final. So you want to use it where there's like loads of... So if you look at the matches, like at the moment, so if you say you captained Kvaratskhelia in the PSG match, you'd be in big, you kind of get in big trouble if Hakimi does what he did last week and scored and kept the clean sheet. It's the same with the Dortmund lads, isn't it? So say you captained, I don't know, Guirassy, which you would normally, and Joe Bellingham scores a brace and Guirassy blanks. So that's why max captain is really good at this point, because we're all jumping on teams now, and there could be huge swings this week, couldn't there? So I mean, there's an argument for the final as well, because I think most people go for a defender usually in the final. You never know. It could be different. It's not UCL. It's not Champions League fantasy, so people could go different. But yeah, I would either use it now or in the final. Why am I not captaining Weverton? Good spot. I mean, he's probably going to get 6-7 points, isn't he? No, probably get 8 or 9 points, but yeah, good spot there. I probably would have noticed it eventually because of captaincy, but I am very glad you told me. So let me just change the captaincy to Weverton quickly. Yeah, because he is playing in the first game. I keep forgetting that Weverton counts as a as a Palmeiras pick. Because it's not a big deal if he doesn't get through to me. But yeah, he's captain now. Do you like Kane or Vinny for 12 man? I think you have to own Kane this week. I think you definitely have to own Kane. That's a great fixture for Bayern, isn't it? It's a great fixture for Bayern, and if Mbappe is back, then Vinny loses pans and Kane stays on pans. So, and penalties are so important in this game, aren't they? If someone has a bad game, you look at Di Maria against Auckland. I know it's against Auckland, but without pans, he would have. I'd be nowhere near what I am now in terms of rank. So, penalty takers do feel quite important. I think that's why I've gone for the premium strikers. All take pans. So yeah, I'm quite happy with Kane. I'm more convinced by Kane over Vinny. For me, it's a case of, do I pick Haaland or Vinny? I think I'm more on that side, and that's only because I don't know if Haaland's going to play full 90. He might play just one half. There would be no surprise if Man City were 2 up at half time, Haaland came off for Marmouche or someone. Whereas with Kane, even if they're 2-0 up, I still think Kane plays 80 minutes, 85, maybe even 90. So yeah, I think you definitely go for Kane there. Where was I? So with Neto, it was even so far for my decisions, I've got Piqueras or Tels. But it's 50-50. I think the game could go either way for qualification bonus. It's Anton or Svensson, but there's obviously a money gap. A money gap between them, which is why I've currently got Anton. Akanji or Ryan Aït-Nouri. I mean, it all comes down to, I think Akanji's scouting bonus maybe cancels out Ryan Aït-Nouri's attacking threat. Maybe not. Maybe Ryan Aït-Nouri is still slightly better. It's just the fact he's still quite new. He's still playing in the team. I'm not too sure. Let me have a look at Ryan Aït-Nouri's stats, because that is a genuine debate, I think. I think there's a genuine debate there to be had between Akanji and Ryan Aït-Nouri. I would be doubling on the Madrid attack. Attack is Mbappe, Guirassy and Haaland. I think you have to own Kane, and then maybe 12-man Mbappe. Felipe Luis will knock out Bayern. He could do, definitely could do. But it's just how many big chances Flamengo are conceding. I will come back to Akanji and Aït-Nouri in a minute. But with Flamengo, so let me just have a look at Flamengo. So, in that first game against Esperance, which they won 2-0, they didn't concede any big chances. I'm not surprised, because Esperance is terrible. To Chelsea, they conceded 6 big chances, which is quite a lot. And Chelsea had 10 men for... How long did they have 10 men for? Oh, it was only 20 minutes. So they conceded 6 big chances against Chelsea, and then they drew to LA, conceded a big chance there, 7 big chances. So it was that Chelsea game in which they conceded 6 big chances that made me think, if this was Bayern, because Bayern score big chances, don't they? They're not like Chelsea, just miss a load of big chances. It's kind of like they are so clinical, these guys. Elise's on it, Kane's on it, so clinical. So yeah, I do think the double up on the Bayern attack is worth it. Now, Neto or Enzo. I was going to have a look at Enzo, wasn't I? Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I've watched all of the games, but I do like highlighting stuff when I'm doing streams, just to kind of explain to you guys where I'm at. So, okay, so Enzo, he actually scored against LA in the first game, but he obviously didn't start the match, so it's worth mentioning that he didn't start. Against Flamengo, Delap missed 2 big chances against Flamengo. Apparently Delap missed 2 big chances against Flamengo. That's quite bad. Got 5.6 rating. Didn't know that. I know he missed chances, but so Enzo Fernandez did play in the loss. He got 1 key pass, 1 shot off target, and missed a big chance. in the game against Esperance, who are really, really poor. He started in central midfield, didn't he? It's not ideal. He got 2 assists. He created 2 big chances, but outside of that, he only had a shot off target. And then, so although he's probably, I think he might have overperformed Enzo. Maybe argue the same for Nato. Let's have a look at Nato's first 2 matches, because he did start the 2. So Nato, in his first match, he scored, created 4 key passes, created a big chance, had a shot on target, shot off target, hit the woodwork. That's super attacking. Against Flamingo, I imagine he didn't do a great deal, apart from score. So he scored, shot on target, 2 shots blocked, key pass, 1 big chance created, so he should have got an assist there. So I think Enzo's got a little bit lucky. I think Enzo's got a little bit lucky there. I do think Nato is a better option based on what he's done so far. My other issues were obviously for those obviously joining the stream late. There's quite a few who've joined late, quite a few that have left, which is fine because these things are super long. Please remember to subscribe. I want to try and get to 300 subs in this video during this video. Not a major deal if I don't, but if you're in the stream already and haven't yet subbed, please do. Please like the video and please sub. Let's see how many we've got so far. 289. So I just need 11 subscribers. Just 11 subscribers. So get on it, guys. Get on it. So yeah, where was I? Elise's locked. I don't think Vitinha's locked. I don't think he's locked. But the thing is with Vitinha though, he could get a pan. He could get qualification bonus. So he could also, pick up points through other routes, right? He's managed assists and goals from open play too. You can only see a bit of this, but I mean, he got a point for 3 tackles as well in the first match, so he has got multiple routes to points. I don't know if I want to get rid of Vitinha. I'll put Vitinha question mark. So let's just have a look at the fixtures and see if there's anyone that I'm missing. We've only got 40 minutes until the... Excuse me. We've only got 40 minutes until the deadline now, so... Now, I need to make notes on the fixtures. Do I want Dumfries? Question mark. Do I want Dumfries for his brace? Thoughts on Nunes from Man City? Yeah, it's just a case of if he's going to start, isn't it? It's just a case of if he's going to start. I don't know if he will. That's the only problem. I think at this point, we're taking punts on the Man City defenders, aren't we? We are taking punts at this point. I don't think there's a most nailed defender. People can argue that there is, but I just don't think there is. So, Garcia, Madrid striker, with Mbappe coming back, I'm not too sure how nailed he is. I know he's very cheap, so it's tempting, but I think you could get yourself in a bit of a pickle there. Fabio Ruiz is only 2.5%. Yeah, a couple of people have mentioned Fabio Ruiz. The only issue with Fabio Ruiz is he doesn't take pans like Vitinha. He does love a shot, though. He can shoot, can score from outside the box, for sure. 291 subs. Just need 9 more, guys. Just need 9 more. Just need 9 more subs. Let me just have a look. Yeah, please remember to like the video as well. Please remember to like and subscribe. Yeah, so going back to the fixtures, I do really like Dumfries. I'm not keen on the Inter attackers at all. Like, I've had so much experience with their assets from Serie A fantasy, from UCL fantasy, that They just don't really have any standouts. Al Hilal can't really go there. The Man City attackers will rotate 100%. I don't particularly like Juventus because I'm not sure they win that. And then it's back down to Dortmund, isn't it? Who we've already kind of discussed the options. I mean, Benfica could score. I do think they're going to score. It's just, I'm pretty sure Di Maria is quite expensive. How much is Di Maria? But then, do I really want Neto and Maria in the same match? He's 7.3 million, so Neto is cheaper than Di Maria. Maybe nothing there in terms of Benfica assets. There's been a little bit of rotation as well, hasn't there? Is Addison even safe? I don't think he is. We saw Ortega. I don't think Ortega played the Juventus game, did he? So he played against Al Ain, the weakest. I mean, there's an argument that Addison is the safest. I don't like saying the safest. Yeah, Alex, just let me know about your 12th manship. I do think it's a good time to use it. Yeah, Di Maria is 7.3 million. Just maybe a little bit too much for me. Just think maybe he's a little bit too much. I'm just not completely keen on, because he's quite reliant on pans, isn't he, Maria? Yeah, so I think a lot. Do you know what? I think most of my changes are literally, a lot of my potential changes are defensive ones, because I've got pick errors or tells at 50-50. I think the goalkeeper's fine. I think Wetherington's fine, isn't he? So let's scratch that one out. Anton or Svensson is an issue for me, because Svensson is like really attacking. So let me just look at Svensson's. Let's have a look at Svensson. He's quite young. He's quite new to the team, isn't he? I know he ended the Bundesliga season with 1 goal and 3 assists in his final 5 matches, which is obviously very good. He also scored against Ulsan. What did he do in his earlier matches? So he played the full 90 in Matchday 1. He had 1 shot off target. I mean, it's poor, but it was against Fluminense. Against Sundowns, this is where he should have seen quite a bit of action, because the game was actually 4-3, as a lot of you will remember. Svensson, he managed another 90 minutes, which is what you want. He managed 2 key passes. He created 2 big chances. So he should have had an assist in that game. This is Sundown, by the way. He should have had an assist against Sundown. 2 big chances, at least an assist. He should have 2 assists. So 90 minutes, 2 big chances in match 2. So how did he do against Ulsan? We know he scored. He managed 5 key passes, 2 big chances. Guys, that's good. So not only has Svensson played every single match for 90 minutes, he's also been robbed of 2 assists, and he scored. How am I going to get Svensson in over Anton? I think it's my own fault if Svensson does well. I think if Svensson does well, it's my own fault that I don't own him. But how do I get Svensson? Let's take Anton out. Maybe I keep, because today's a wildcard free transfer day. Yeah, potentially. I do think it's a good week for Max Captain, though. Alex, I also think that the final could be kind of like a good option too. Guys, just to get your comments in where I can find what is the gap between Svensson and Anton. Yeah, get your comments in the chat. How do you think I should lose money here? How do you think I should lose money to get Svensson in for Anton? Sorry guys. Yeah, so Botafogo keeper is 4.6 million, and that game is a coin flip. It is, but it still wouldn't give me the money. Let me just see how much I know. I think was it 0.7 million between Anton and. So Anton is 4.6. Let me write this down so I don't forget. 4.6. And I'm pretty sure Svensson is 5.3, but let's double check. Svensson is 5.3. So there is 0.7 between Anton and Svensson. Now, where do I get the 0.7 from? Because these defenders are cheap. Stanisic's cheap. Akanji's the cheapest. Is Ryan how much is Ryan Nori? Because if that's a coin flip, he's more expensive than Akanji by 0.1. It's not much, but it doesn't really help me in this situation, does it? I do need money from somewhere. I can't exactly downgrade Bellingham. Not prepared to sell Garassi, Kane or Haaland. I don't think. I think that's the same for Elise, for Shelley. I think if I lose money, it will be in goal. I own both Anton and Svensson. There's quite a few comments there. I have Alberto Costa, but Anton too because I've added and I just put Sanchez in my team. Yeah, the Botafogo goalkeeper doesn't give me enough money. It gives me some more money. I own both. Yeah, I do like Anton, and I like both of them this week. But after looking at Svensson's data over the past 3 matches, like he's so attacking. He's just super attacking. So I think this is gonna eat me up until the deadline, which is not good. Maybe goalkeepers, but then I don't have 4 PSG, and I won't have the double up in defence. I feel like Svensson is gonna do well this week. I mean, it's a good team. If you look at Dortmund's, well, we don't even need to look, right? Monterrey aren't great, so we don't even need to look at that. I need to lose cash. Oh, I need to lose cash, guys. Where can I lose some money? We are still 9 subs off 300 subscribers, guys. So, again, if you haven't subbed yet, please sub and hit the like button on the video. I don't want half an hour of this stream to be me trying to figure out who to take money out of in this team. Could someone give me a Frights from Luminays? Don't think he's gonna. I don't fancy him at Inter. I don't fancy him at all. I can't see where I got money from. 0.7 is basically Donnarumma all the way down to like a 5 million goalkeeper, which I'm not massively keen on. Let me just see if there's any goalkeepers on that side of the draw. Currently, I do. So Courtois is a good option, obviously, but he's too much. Kobel, I don't really want to get Kobel if I'm trying to decide between Anton. Neuer is 5.6. Don't particularly want him. Hakimi's non-negotiable. I'm stuck. I really am stuck as to where to get the money from Anton. While I kind of do think about Anton, I think looking at captaincy should be important, shouldn't it? I don't think you need a captain every single day of the week. I like a captain every single match. I do like a captain every single match. So for the first match, you're probably going to want to go for a Palmeiras or Botafogo defensa. So in my case, I already have Weverton. So there you go. He's a captaincy option. With Benfica and Chelsea, I still think that Palmer could go off. I think he's still a great option. There's so many pricey options that I still haven't got. Just your only way is Garassi, Donato Sanchez. Chelsea are on the left side of the draw. So I would have two goalkeepers on the left side of the draw. I mean, I could get rid of Akanji, but then I'd have no City defence, and he wouldn't really give me any money. He's only 5.6 million. I think we need Man City defence. Just go back on captaincy. I do think a Chelsea attacker in that game could be really, really good. Could haul 100%. At the end of the day, it's going to be for me personally. It's been midfielders that have thrown up the big hauls. Obviously, we had Hakimi. We've had a couple of double digits from strikers, but we've had some big hauls from midfielders, haven't we? So I just think that you look at the Chelsea Benfica game, that has a midfielder haul written all over it because of the amount of goals I think there's going to be. I think there's going to be quite a few goals in it. So I think having a Chelsea attacker for that is important. You could spin it and say, I'll have a Benfica attacker instead. You could go for Di Maria, but I just think he's a bit expensive. I think Neto's quite cheap, so I do really like Neto for captaincy against Chelsea there. With PSG and Inter, it's just, I think it's probably going to be Hakimi or Kvaratskhelia, right? There's probably a decision to be made there. It's quite 50-50, I'd say, because there's an argument for Kvaratskhelia in this case because they're playing Inter Miami, who could concede 3-4 goals, but then Hakimi could be amongst them. So yeah, we're buying. It is pretty much Kane or Elise. Now the only game that I don't have a captaincy option for is Inter. One of the only games, I think it is. It is the only game that I don't have a captaincy option for. Inter and Fluminense, which would probably be Dumfries, wouldn't it? The only issue with backing Inter is that they play City after this. So if they do progress against Fluminense, then they've got to beat City. It's likely going to be City. That's if Al Hilal don't beat them. So it's just also, do Fluminense win that game against Inter? I think that's quite close. So I'm quite happy to not have a captaincy here. Captaincy with Man City will be Haaland. Real Madrid, I mean, it's a bit squeaky bum time, isn't it, if you get to Tuesday evening and you still haven't had a captaincy haul? Because that's what we're after these days, isn't it? We're not after captaincy returns. We're not after 8-9 pointers. We're after hauls. I've noticed that in this game, that hauls, we get so many captaincies that we should be chasing hauls at this point. So yeah, captaincy is covered on Real Madrid. I'll only have Fran Garcia for Juventus currently, although I do like Vinny. Haaland or no, because Mbappe's coming back, so it has to be Haaland, doesn't it? Has to be Haaland. Dortmund, yeah, covered. So, yeah, the only game in terms of captaincy that I won't have it covered is the Fluminense match. So I'm pretty happy with that. I just want to kind of bring up the path again. The path to win. Obviously, Palmeiras have got Botafogo, and then they play Chelsea or Benfica. That's not bad, but then you don't. It's quite a 50-50 game, isn't it? You know, Chelsea, if they win, will play potentially Man City in the semi-finals. They'll play either Botafogo. Maybe a Chelsea defender isn't terrible, because maybe Chelsea defender isn't that bad. I mean, if you can get past the Benfica game, it just feels 50-50, and then they play a Brazilian team, don't they? They've already lost to a Brazilian team, Chelsea, haven't they? So it's very obvious that the teams, City have a clear path to the final, it feels like, but obviously rotation is their problem. So, 1 second. Moving a sec. +4. Yeah. So again, I think that's my only decision now. I think that is my only decision. So I do like Svensson. Oh, I really like Svensson, guys. Let's see what you guys have got for me. Donatus Sanchez, left side of the draw. Ardagula, not an option for you. He's quite cheap. I don't know if he is nailed. That's the how much is he? Someone tell me how much Gullit is in the chat while I have a look at his stats. Gullit. Yeah, so he scored 1 goal so far. Let's have a look. Okay, so he didn't play in Matchday 1, but he came on at half time. In Matchday 2, they played Pachuca. He did play, he scored, but he only played 60 minutes. Is that 6 key passes? No, he lost possession 6 times. No one's telling me how expensive Gullit is. And then against Salzburg, Gullit did play and then played 67 minutes. Let me just see how much. He's 6.5 million. I mean, it's quite cheap, but he's not really losing me. He's not really losing me any money. He's not. I just don't. Yeah, it's just minutes. It's just minutes, and also, yeah, mainly minutes. I think mainly minutes. He's not been great. He's not been amazing either. So I do think there's a question there. What do you think of this team? Fabio and Cabal. They're different sides of the draw, which is good. Nuno, Otamendi, Hakimi, Piqueras, Anton, Foden. Yeah, okay, so don't get Dembele. He hasn't started any of the matches so far. He might not start this one, so definitely don't own Dembele. So definitely swap Dembele out, Nehal. Also, there's a couple of 50-50s in there in defence that I'm not completely keen on. Otamendi and Piqueras. I think their games could go either way. I think it's okay if you've got a goalkeeper from Benfica / Chelsea or Palmeiras / Botafogo, because you've got two. You don't really have to buy another goalkeeper. But if you're missing, my thoughts on that. Still thinking for my defence, who's better? Who's better clean sheets, you think? Yeah, so I think in terms of clean sheet odds, I think the best options you can go for is, I think Dortmund stands out massively to me, and I'm going to tell you why. Because yes, they play Monterrey, but if you heard my team selection, or you heard the latest episode of the pod, which I think went out this morning, it's over an hour long. If you want to listen to more of, well, you won't be able to listen to it now because it's 20 minutes until the deadline, isn't there? So, I think basically Dortmund play Bonteri, who seems to struggle against big sides. So they managed. So Monterrey managed no big chances against Inter or River Plate. They didn't create any big chances. I know they scored, but no big chances at all. So in terms of XG, they're not really creating much, and for that reason, I think the Dortmund defence is a good one to go to this week. The Dortmund double defence is a really good option, isn't it? It's a really good option. Again, it's the issue of it's the issue that they potentially play Real Madrid in the next round, and I don't think they keep a clean sheet. Yeah, 20 minutes until the deadline, guys. 20 minutes. Let me just have a look at a couple of bits. One second. I'm just going to see if I've been tagged anything on Twitter. I haven't actually been on X pretty much throughout this whole stream. Someone has tagged me in chances of an attack in return. I don't know why. Yeah, Tom Hadley. He's a friend. He's a mate. I talk to Tom. He's in my my main Club World Cup fantasy group chat. The only issue with that is he's got, not him. They're probably bookmakers odds, but he's got Dembele top of the list with 75%. I wouldn't look at that because I don't think he's going to start. If he does start, he might only play half an hour. So I don't think looking at odds like that is ideal. I would definitely get rid of Dembele if you own him. Let me have a look. What else have I got going on? Ad is also tagging me. I need to sort Ad out. Ad isn't in the stream today. He's missed out today, which is unfortunate. Yeah, Addy's got too many 50-50s in that team for my liking. Let me just tell him. He's not in the stream at the moment. Let me just tell him he's got too many. So he's got Di Maria. He's got too much. Collectively, individually it's fine, but collectively he's got like Di Maria, Estevao, Weatherton, Piquerez, Bastoni. I don't like that at all. I'm going to tell him. I'll tell him. Yeah, he just needs to go for more bankers. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, okay. I'm beating Ad now, Lewis. Yeah, I'm beating Ad 2 now. I think I'm beating Ad and Dan. So I will actually take the lead because I think of competitions for the pod so far, I think I came second in the Euros. I came first in the UCL. But in the UCL season before that, I came last. No, I didn't come last, did I? I missed to come last because I had a really bad season in the UCL last. Thoughts on Mbappe now he looks back for the Juve game, or just safer to go with Vinny at the same price if you want a Real Madrid attacker? Yes. So I do think that there's a chance that Mbappe doesn't play that game. I also think there's a chance that he doesn't play that much of it, which is an issue. So for me, Vinny is definitely a safer option. Now, the only problem with having a Real Madrid attacker this week is you're not quite sure who's going to be on the pitch and who's going to be taking pans. Yes, Vinny is probably the best option, but I think if Mbappe and Vinny are like replacing someone like Garassi, Haaland or Kane, then I'm not 100% on that. You could probably see that. Let me just show my team because no one wants to stare at the fixtures for ages. That's my team currently. I still don't know where I'm going to get the money from. Where am I going to get this money from? I just don't know where I'm going to get money from. I don't see an attacker in there that I want to get rid of. That's the bottom line, isn't it? Because I can't take cash out the defence. And I can't really see a goalkeeper on the right side of the draw that's considerably cheaper than Donnarumma that isn't Kobel, because I don't want Kobel and have triple and have double Dortmund defence. It would also mean losing a fourth PSG player. I don't know where to go. I honestly don't know where to go with this. I mean, I could do a couple of minor surgeries. Nato to Anzo, but Anzo was so good. Nato was so good. How much is Nato again? There's 3 million between Nato and Anzo. So if I did Nato to Anzo, I would only have to find 0.4. 0.4. Donnarumma is points. So getting Donnarumma... No. Donnarumma would have to go down to a 5.3. No, I just don't like it. I honestly don't really like any of the minor changes either. Let me just go back to the manage the squad and see what it's currently looking like. I mean, there's a lot of assets that I really want this week. You know, there's Trent. I'd have Trent. I'd have Dumfries. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different assets that I can't really get. Surely I don't make a deadline move. Surely not. Surely not. Yep. So, guys, like and subscribe. I don't know if I'm saying this too much or not enough, but please like the video if like the stream if you enjoyed it. Also, again, thank you for those who have continued to show support, obviously on the team selections, the live streams, all of it. Really appreciate it. So, again, subscribe if you haven't already. Let's see if I haven't chatted for a while. Let's see if we are close to 300. Let's see if we're close to 300 subs. 293. So we're 7 points off. We're 7 points off. 7 subscribers off 300. I mean, it's not particularly a massive a milestone, but it'd be nice, wouldn't it? Garcia looks really good, locked as well, right? I think have we had lineups? Esposito was starting. Yeah, I don't know how. No, we've not had lineups for Inter. We can't have lineups for Inter. Is Inter today? No, Inter's not today. Inter's tomorrow. Pretty sure it is. No, Inter's Monday. So I'm not massively interested in the Palmeiras. The Palmeiras. Not massively interested in the Palmeiras players. To be fair, I know. Obviously, there's quite a few that are interested in Estevao and yeah. So I think Garcia is locked. He's not got scouting bonus. He's only 5.6. Stanisic has gone up to 4%. Stanisic has flown it to 4. Anton is 4.4, so he's still in the scouting bonus territory. Yeah, with Garcia, I just think, you know, he's only 4.9 million, and you really need cheap defenders. So he's not been anywhere near as good as what I thought he would be. Trent, he's 6.4 million as well. So there's a massive gap in terms of price between Trent. It's like 1.5 million. So that's a lot of money. especially at this stage of the competition. So, yeah, for me, Garcia is locked. Cheers, Geddy. Thank you. Yeah, if you've enjoyed the stream, again, just drop a like. I've not got a target. I don't have targets yet. Again, I wasn't. For those listening, I wasn't actually supposed to launch until Champions League Fantasy. Some of you heard this already. It's probably boring. I don't want to keep repeating it, but I wasn't ready. I had no graphics. My presenting skills were quite bad. They still are quite bad, to be fair, aren't they? I imagine presenting skills are quite bad still. But yeah, I just guess I learned it all pretty quick. Got loads of graphics together quickly. Really like the graphic as well. So, but yeah, that obviously means that I'll be creating UCL fantasy content as well, right? So, there's that to look forward to. Most of my prep and graphics and stuff like that have been kind of aimed at the UCL stuff anyway. Right, guys, 9 minutes before the deadline. 9 minutes. What are we doing? Any big decisions to make? Get your questions in. Can I send you my final team? Yeah, Diego, drop your team to me in DM. I'll have a look at it. Looks like we've had it. It looks like we've had lineups. It looks like we've had the Palmeiras lineup. I'm just going to share the Palmeiras lineup from my Twitter account. If you're not following me on Twitter, then you should be. It is at FPL Reactions. FPL Reactions. So I'm just about to tweet out the lineup for Palmeiras. I don't think there's any. Doesn't seem to be any major surprises in there. Guiu starts. I'm pretty sure Guiu is 4.4 million. One second. Yeah, I'm gay. Hi, Josh. Hi, mate. How are you? I haven't seen you in these streams before. I know I've only done 3. But yeah. Should have come to you for my graphics, shouldn't I? Although these aren't bad, are they? They're not bad. Thanks for dropping in, Josh. Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, drop your big questions in. What are you stuck on? Your 50-50s. I will answer them. Basically. So, someone's going to send me the final team. I've just released the Palmeiras lineups, by the way. I don't think there's any major surprises. Diego, you're 30th in the world. Is that right? Okay, so straight away, Diego, I think I'm not massively keen on some of the 50-50s. I think it's too close with Actually, it's quite good, actually. It's a good team, that. It's Freights, Fluminense. I'm not keen on Freights from Fluminense. But I imagine he's quite cheap. I imagine that's why you've gone there. Yeah, good luck this week. Anything else? Have I been tagged in anything else? I'm still trying to find the Botafogo lineup. I can't really see it. I haven't seen it. Can someone tagged me? Oh, hang on, I'll just search for it. There's only 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. Currently 300th. Currently 300th in rank in the world. I was 1.9k before Friday, and then on Friday we had that crazy couple of matches at 2:00 in the morning where I was like, I can't stay up for the 2 a.m. games. And it was Real Madrid and it was Al Hilal. Now, obviously, I had Vinicius and Trent. They kept the clean sheet, and Vinicius got a goal and assist. And obviously, Al Hilal got, Dasari scored, and Lodi kept the clean sheet. So those 30-plus points, man, they rocketed me right all the way up to 300. So without that Friday, it would have been bad. Cheers, Josh. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. I don't know if are you playing Club World Cup Fantasy, Josh? You might be. I wonder if you're playing. How are you doing? Yes, so it is 5-2 at this point. You'll basically notice if you've only just joined the stream, you'll basically notice that I've gone quite heavy on teams that I think are going to win and get scouting qualification bonus. So you'll see that I've gone for 3 Dortmunds because I think they win this week. You'll see that I haven't gone for 4. You'll know that I haven't gone for 4 Dortmunds because they could potentially play Real Madrid next. And I don't want a triple up in attack, and I certainly don't want a double defence against Real Madrid. I might not even want any Dortmund against Real Madrid. So I think 3 is a nice kind of in-between. That's the same with... It's a little bit different with PSG, though, because Donnarumm's a goalkeeper, so I'll have 2 goalkeepers. If I lose a goalkeeper, it's kind of okay. So the triple up, the quad in PSG is kind of, it feels a little bit safer than a quad of Dortmund. So yeah, I mean, I've gone quite heavy. I've only gone for 2 for Man City because they are major rotation risks, that entire squad. I think it's safe to just go for 2. Obviously, if you get the Man City options correct, like the Fodens, the Ryan Aït-Nouris and stuff like that, then that's great. Could I get to Ryan Aït-Nouri on deadline? Is Ryan Aït-Nouri... Oh, I'm pretty sure he's just 0.1, isn't he? Is Ryan Aït-Nouri 0.1 more expensive than... I've got no money in the bank either, so if I had 0.1 million in the bank, then I would probably make... I don't even know where to take 0.1 from. Yeah, good luck to everyone in the chat, guys. We are coming up to deadline now, aren't we? A couple of last minute tips. Don't go too heavy on teams that could be 50-50. You've got to remember you're up against a lot of players playing the qualification booster this week. So just checking, I've got my qualification booster sets activated. So definitely don't go too heavy on 50-50s. The 50-50s, I would say, are Chelsea, Benfica, Palmeiras, Botafogo. I would also put Inter, Fluminense in that category as well. I think they are very much 50-50. The ones that aren't 50-50s, I'd say, obviously PSG, Dortmund, Man City, all very likely to win. I'd also put Bayern and Real Madrid in the likely, not very likely, but likely to win category. Although there's an argument for Real to be in that very likely category. Are you sure about the clean sheet for Bayern? Seems risky. +3 Dortmund isn't too risky. I think there has to be, I would go for Neto. I think there has to be a balance between targeting the fixture ahead and looking ahead. I think if you don't go heavy on the Dortmund guys against Monterrey, you could be massively behind. But at the same time, you don't want to overstock on Dortmund players. I think some people are going for 4. I don't like that. I've kind of restricted myself to 3. So I'm quite happy with 3. So I don't think I've gone too far on I'm playing casually. Missed the podcast this match. Did get the boys back together before the QF and speak soon. Good luck. Yep, see you later, Josh. Good luck. I won't be around too much after the deadline, guys, today. It's a Saturday. The weather's nice. I've gone for chilled vibes this week. I've gone for, it's quite dark, it's quite chilled, so I've shut the curtains, I've made it quite dark, I've put a couple of lights on, so it kind of feels like evening. Yeah, I like the evening vibes on the live stream, like quite chilled, dimmed lights, stuff like that. Yeah, so we're 1 minute up until the deadline now, so I would refresh just in case your app is messing up. I would definitely refresh, make sure everything's in place, make sure captaincy is on, Make sure you captain the player playing in the first match. I've got it right, thanks to someone who suggested to captain Weatherton, which was a good idea. I've also got date order on the bench. Just double check that you've also got your chip activated. And I think the deadline has gone. I think the deadline has now gone. The deadline has gone, guys. The deadline has gone. So, with that in mind, let's get... With that in mind, guys, that doesn't work for some reason. Why doesn't it work? Why doesn't that work? Why doesn't that work? Yeah, with that in mind, guys, obviously good luck. Just want to say thank you to all those who have joined for another stream. Thank you to those that have subbed today as well. There's been quite a few of you who've subscribed, liked the video and stuff. I probably will be back for a Matchday 5 team selection for the quarterfinals. I may also do a live stream. It's always time dependent. So again, thank you for those who have joined, and I'm about to put the ending video on. So we will see if that works, because it doesn't look great at the moment. So thank you guys, and I will see you again soon.